everybody. How's it going? And welcome to our week 6 recap of SFB and goodness giveaway and all of that stuff. And I need to apologize that last week was the first week of bye weeks, and all I could think about the second we finished doing the show, like, how did I not name last week's show Buys? Like, my bad is really all I could think to say. and so I was trying to think of what I would name this week, and all like it got too sad. Like, it was a low scoring week. There was a whole lot of injuries. I almost started to do an entire slide, and it was just like listing everyone that got injured, and like, no, this isn't supposed to be sad. We're not supposed to sit here and be like, oh, SFB. Even if you're not doing well, we're still supposed to be excited that we're in Scott Fish Bowl. Scott Fish Bowl is happening. Yeah, I know there are buys this week, but it's not the first week of buys. It's not the same. But we are here. We have week 6. It is in the books. And we are going to not talk about Scott Fish Bowl for a second, because we are going to first give away, I almost knocked my phone off the table, our Sam Howell jersey. Here we go. Going on quick. My new mustache. Let me share my screen. Oh, man, these are out of order. Random generator. There you go. All right. Share. Let's zoom. I think we did 200 and it worked. There you go. All right. So here, remember, this is how it goes. I'm going to check that box. It's going to give me an error warning because we had to be fancy and make it look black. And then it tells me you can't actually see what you're checking. But we don't care. We don't need that, because you're going to see a number pop up in there, and that's going to correspond to an entry ticket. And then you're just going to get that name down here, and that's going to be who wins. So congratulations, Jason Kramer. Jason Kramer, you are the winner of this beautiful Sam Howell jersey, who has 2 weeks in a row absolutely helped you as a bye week fill-in for any fantasy team, not just Scott Fish Bowl. And it's just going to keep getting better. Sam Howell, you got in at the right time, Jason Kramer. This is yours. You're going to put it right on your wall, and just every time Sam Howell ends up in your fantasy lineup, so you have him on a best ball team, every time he's on there, you're just going to be like, I got you. You got me. There you go. All right. So now we will go back to our screens. Once again, congratulations, Jason Kramer, on winning the Sam Howell jersey. And let's talk about the top performers by position. And this is actually the first week where we had the top 4 actual scorers were for different positions. Like, normally, you have to skip a name, like last week, I think it was like Jamar Chase and DJ Moore were top 4, but we're doing by position. This time, nope, not so much. But you'll also notice, like I said, there was no 60-point score this week. It was a little low across the board. But Raheem Mostert still coming in at the top scorer overall, 20 touches, 132 yards, and doesn't matter which Dolphins running back you got in there, they're gonna get 3 touchdowns for 43.45 fantasy points. Next, here we go. You drafted him 101, hoping that he would carry you this season. He's coming back on. He's probably at least points per game, the tight end 1 at this point. But he finally gave you a tight end 1 week, which is, absolutely what we've been waiting for. And it was 100% completion percentage. How baller is that? 9 targets, 9 receptions, 124 yards. What, Travis? You couldn't catch a touchdown? I think. What was this, one of those weeks where Tay wasn't in the stands, so you don't need to catch a touchdown to impress her? I mean, if that's the case, then we're gonna need. Actually, no, Travis Kelce is just the tight end 1 overall already. It doesn't matter that he missed week 1. He has 154.6 total points. Hawkinson in second with 142. Average points per game. Even though he put up 16 points in his first game, he's averaging 30.92 points. Mark Andrews in second with 23.9. So he's still giving you that positional advantage like crazy. It's just not as caught up with every other position like you would want it to be. Never mind. I was about to say it's not that he's player 22 overall. What happens if we hit that average button? Travis Kelce, player 10 overall. So he's still doing you pretty good. But next, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Finally, ARSB it was okay. He's been okay. Yeah. Keeping around that 15 to 20 point mark, and finally 15 targets, 12 receptions, 124 yards and a touchdown, coming in for 36.4 fantasy points. So thank you, ARSB. And then my picture of Jalen Hurts didn't save. It's still an Eagles jersey, but that is absolutely Dallas Goedert. Close enough. Yeah, okay, my bad, everybody. So passes and completions, 45 passes. That's 28 completions. That's not terrible, but 280 yards and 2 total touchdowns is where it's at. 36.2 fantasy points. So again, helping you out, even though because everyone scored a little less. So just because it's not hurting anybody. So, all right. So let's talk about the letdowns. Like Davante Adams, the Patriots are what the Patriots are, but 5 targets, 2 receptions, 29 yards, 5.9 fantasy points. I get it. Bill Belichick is very good at taking away the main thing of the other team, and that main thing is very easily Davante Adams. But it's Davante Adams. You're supposed to do more than that, even if you're getting triple covered, and he did not. So it's a little bit of a letdown. Now, these next 2 are added with a bit of levity, a little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of lightheartedness, whatever you want to put in there. Puka Nacua finally having a pedestrian game. Only 7 targets, season low, tied for a season low. 4 receptions, season low. Yards, 26, season low. Fantasy points, 7.6, season low. But again, you either waiver wired him, drafted him in the 20th, so you can't really be upset about it, but you're not thrilled because you're used to him giving you 20 plus points. So it's a little bit of a letdown. This might be our fault a little bit, but Emari Demercado, he looked so quick, last week. And when he came after Connor got hurt, and the coaches were talking him up, and media throughout the week has been talking about him, and then he gets 3 rushes and I think it was 2 targets, which he caught one of, for a total of 17 yards and 4.2 fantasy points. There were people, I see Ryan in the comments saying you went for $75 in his league. I had a league where someone max bid on him because he might be a thing. Yeah, and Zach in here saying he led the RBs and snaps, but when every other running back got more touches, does leading and snaps really matter? But yeah, so that didn't work out well, and that not everyone even started him, I would imagine, but still, we were excited, we were here, we were ready, and it just let us down. Redemption. What's really funny is I made this last night, and I tried, Zach, but you gotta. I tried. Redemption. Dak Prescott. I picked this before the game was over, just because I was happy to see him look good and have a good stat line, no less. I was just happy that Dak Prescott was back to being a decent Dak Prescott. Passes and 30 passes, 21 completions, pretty good percentage right there. 272 yards, total touchdowns. It would have nice to have been seen more than just 1-1, but still 32.83 fantasy points. You are thrilled with that out of Dak Prescott for what you've been getting for him this entire season. And while Saquon isn't necessarily a redemption because he's been out for 4 or 5 weeks, but it was the closest. It was the only other thing that made me feel something when I was going through scores and looking at every other player. There was a couple of players that had a bigger game than normal. There was a couple of players that, off of last week's letdowns did okay. But Saquon Barkley getting 29 total touches, 98 total yards. If he had a touchdown, he probably would have made himself up towards, onto the top scorers list. He came back no matter how bad that offense is, no matter who the quarterback is, how bad that offensive line is playing. Saquon can still do this, and that's the important part, and that's the Saquon part. That's why he's Baquan. And then we need to talk about this for a second. I almost put all of these players in the redemption. It's a 2-game rise up, everybody. The Falcons are coming to life on offense in a way we finally want them to. And here's the thing. It's a little bad that Bijan is not even getting good running stats, but at least he's catching 5 balls a game, so his points are still up there. But they can't run the ball, which means they're passing the ball. Desmond Ridder, both games, exactly 28 completions. There was a different amount of attempts, but they were both in the mid to upper 30s. But 28 completions in both games over 300 yards, a total of 4 touchdowns. There was 3 passing, 1 rushing. We're going to ignore the 3 interceptions for now, especially because in SFB, there's no negatives. And for a total combined of 66.54 fantasy points, this is good. Like, this is, I feel like, better than we expected. Whatsoever out of Desmond Ridder. And it's really hard to find pictures to fit those long, thin frames that we have. And then this one popped up for Ridder, and I was just like, all right, well, I'm not changing that because that's awesomely ridiculous. Next, Drake London, finally. Like, because he kept having those games where he would catch a touchdown or get 5 catches, but never really, putting it all together. 21 targets the past 2 games, 15 total receptions, 203 yards for a total of 48.38 fantasy points. He didn't score a touchdown the past 2 games, but he did for the game before that. But I wasn't going to stretch it out just for him. But this is a 2-game rise up. At least that's the Falcons thing, right? Rise up. I hope that is. Otherwise, I'm making a complete fool of myself, which I'm used to, so it doesn't really matter. And then here it is. It has arrived. It is Kyle Pitts time. 2 games, 17 targets. You're thrilled to have 8.5 targets per game from your tight end. 11 receptions, 131 yards, and scoring a touchdown. We love to see it out of Kyle Pitts. 55 total fantasy points in the past 2 games. Like, this is weird. Like, do we not hate Desmond Ridder now? Because even though he's not great, he's finally feeding those wide receivers and still, again, giving Bijan those targets, which is very important, seeing as how they just can't run the ball right now. Contest time. We are giving away a Justin Jefferson Funko Pop. For the next 3 minutes, it's 2:14, so until 2:17, anyone who types the word gritty in, the dance that he brought to the world, not really, but he made it popular, will be entered to a chance to win the Justin Jefferson Funko Pop. Oh, look at that. You guys clogged, there was nothing for a few seconds, and I started to get a little worried, but then all of a sudden, everybody came in at once, and I typed the word gritty instead of the word gills. That would have been really embarrassing. Not really. Again, I don't know if I could do anything that would actually embarrass me anymore. I've done enough stupid things, even on this. Wow, you guys are going. On this little live stream that I don't know if I could, the level it would take for me to embarrass myself at this point. I'm honestly pretty interested. I'm concerned about what it would take and what I would have to do. All right, Matthew Robertson, J Mike, no, Scott, no, Scott, stop. All right, Scott, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you want the Justin Jefferson Funko Pop. I appreciate you're trying to boost what looks like our numbers are for people who are entering this, but you don't need to. We're that good. And if you could not put your name in twice, that would be greatly appreciated. See, we still got 1 more minute, so there's still time. You got 1 more minute. You could win this Funko Pop. All you got to do is type the word gritty in the comments. All right. What time is it? Still 2:16, right? I still didn't put up a seconds counter when I did this kind of thing because, yeah, I still sit here and wonder how much longer it's going to take for it to change the minute. Because I feel like you see, oh, there it goes. I've vamped long enough. Thank you. That was oof. All right, let's stop sharing the old screen. Let's start sharing the new screen. We love names. Share. All right, we are going to shuffle them up. We're going to hit that spin button. And we're going to wait and see who's going to win the Justin Jefferson Funko Pop. Beatoldy? Beatoldy 23. Congratulations. You win the Justin Jefferson Funko Pop. All right. So Beatoldy, if what's your is Beatoldy 23 your Twitter or X or whatever? If is that a way we can contact you? Because that would make my life easier. If it's not, let me know what it is so I can get your info and we can Beatoldy 23. There you are. I'm gonna assume that's you. Well, we're gonna stop sharing that. Let's. Ooh. All right, I'm just gonna DM you now. Saying, hey, so I remember to DM you again later. Okay, cool. So congratulations, Beatoldy. I know your real name now, and I don't care. I'm still gonna call you Beatoldy. On winning the Justin Jefferson Funko Pop. Let me pull up my slides again so I know what I'm looking at because the screen gets way too small. All right, so we are back talking about guys that scored some points. Let's talk about the 12 top scorers in the league. Raheem Mostert, again, 43-4-5. Travis Kelce, 42-4. Amon-Ra, 36-4. Jalen Hulu has live sports. I see that commercial way too much. 36.20. And then we got Adam Thielen back up here. How awesome is that? Adam Thielen, first of all, on many of my competing teams, and I love it. Not my Scott Fishbowl team, of course. But Adam Thielen putting in 35.5 points. Kyren Williams, 34.8. Of course, is now hurt and might be missing next week. Tyreek Hill, it didn't even matter that they were winning. He cramps up and comes back out. He doesn't care. And puts up 33.3 points. There, Desmond Ridder, 32.98. Dak Prescott, 32.83. Well, we got a run of quarterbacks right here. Lamar at 32.27 and Tua at 31.93 and finishing up with the old guy scoring of Cooper Kupp at 31.8. It's ridiculous that man just took no time to reacclimate back to the league. He's just like, oh, I'm playing again? All right, I'm just going to destroy it all. I'm just going to keep going. Top 5 tight ends. I know it's usually top 4, but when Kyle Pitts is the number 5 and I'm still happy about it, I'm going to change it to the top 5. Travis Kelce at 42.4 and Michael Mayer at 25.5. Michael, I think the dude had 2 catches on the season before this week, but here we go. Dallas Goedert keeping it strong with 24.2. Dalton Schultz, loving the Dalton Schultz resurgence in Houston, 24.1 points. And then Kyle Pitts, 22.3 on this week. I love to see it. If you're playing against him, you might not love to see it, but if you're a believer, you love to see it. Undefeated teams in in the Scott Fishbowl 13. We started 1272, went down to 530, down to 314, down to 166. Last week was 82, and we did not quite have it. And we are down to the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything. 42 undefeated teams. Do I have it pulled up? Nope. Hold on. Leaderboard. Undefeated teams. Let's just go look at it now, right? Like, why do things outside of an order that doesn't make sense? Hey, Roman, he's one of the 42. Congrats. I'm jealous because I'm not. I'm 6-6. Yay. Share. Here we go. Undefeated teams. Man, Andrew's still up there. He's been a high scorer, averaging 274, still up there at undefeated. Dan Wisner, Andy Goldstein, Stephanie Miller, David Flannery, Neil Gray, Tanho, Luke McGarry. I am not Luke. See, that's going to get me every single time. But are you Luke or are you not? Make up your minds. Chris Timpson. There's our run 13. Congrats, man. David, Aaron, Billy, John. I'm not going to read all 42 people's names, but, once Roman said that he was in there, I was going to keep reading, until I got to Roman's name. I had to, right? Oh, and J Mike in there. Shout out to Dan Hendry, is the last undefeated in the Skyline division. Well, now that makes me feel like I should check to see if there's any undefeated teams in my division. Nope. We're all at least somewhat equally matched. That we're not. There's no undefeated teams, so take that. All right, so hold on. Let me pull this back up. All right, so let's see who the. I'm going to scroll down to number 43. Scott, there's 43. You told me there was 42. You made me look bad, Scott. So Kevin, shout out Kevin Moody deal. Theo Kefalis at Theo the Greek, 42, averaging 214.77 points in Albertsons, McAllister's Deli, the Capitol Grill, where the average score per week is 222, and you're still undefeated. Come on, divisions. You gotta do better than that. You can't let these people keep winning. Those scores aren't high enough to be undefeated teams. Why are you letting them do that? Oh, here we go. Faith saying that the last undefeated team in Randy's Donuts was taken down this week. Congratulations to whoever took that person down. Okay, let's go back to the slides. Let's see what else we got. The top scorers of the week. And yes, Cole, I know it was up to 15, and that's why you made it in, but I saw your name there. I changed it to top 11 instead of top 10. I know you're here every week. I'm calling you out. But first, we have to talk about Sven, who put up 302, the only 300-point scorer in a low-scoring week. That just shows how good it was. And then we got Chaboy Rich, 291, Matt Robertson, Kevin Coleman. Oh, we got Chaboy and Dubois, Nolan Short, Tyler Bills, Pat Loftus, Janet Zito, Anthony Zaragoza, David. Oh, David, we talked about him a few seconds ago. He was one of the undefeated teams. And then we got number 11, the Cole Granger, 274.68. Congratulations. Wow, Best in Pink's hot dogs division is 9-3. Whew, that's, you know what? That means it's good. That means you have enough teams in there that are good, that you're challenging each other every single week. If you have, multiple undefeated teams, that means you got some really bad teams in there, and that's not as fun. All right, so let's preview the good. You know what? Nope, go back for a second. We're not going to do that just yet, even though you saw it this morning in Scott's email, and you just saw it for a second there. But I'm going to go back to sharing the leaderboard, and we're just going to look at the actual leaderboard for a second. Because clearly we have, well, not clearly, because points for matters more than record does itself. So here we go. Auntie Anne's with 9-3 at the top. Good. Rock on. Get some competition going. Where we have Andrew and Dan up at their undefeated top of the score. But number 3, Nate Christian, again, was one of the top scorers many times throughout the past few weeks, averaging 257.95, has one loss. Just 2 down, we have Anthony Clee at the boy. Oh, wow. So Chaboy, Dubois, and the boy. 11-1 also, 254. Keith Lott also. Where's our first 2? Here we go. We hit a group of Kyle Robert and Maria Vincenzi are both 2 teams that are top 15, but to have 2 losses. So just keep going, keep playing, keep setting your lineup, keep playing the waiver wire. Let's see how much I need to cry right now. 1890. Okay. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hold on. Nope, it's not okay. Top half, man. Top half is what I'm going for, and I am not there right now. I think we need to really quickly get another 400 teams in Scott Fishbowl and start them at the bottom so I can feel better about myself. That's what Scott Fishbowl is really about, me feeling better about myself. So I think that's what we got to do. Yeah? No? All right. Now here we go. I was curious. So here's Luke at Cute Chubby Guy. I was looking for the first 3 lost team, 245 average points. I mean, you're still probably making the playoffs. So I think the email that came out today said we're over halfway there, so we're getting there. So now let's go back to the slides and let's hit that button. Next week's giveaway goodness is another twofer. I just had more fun giving away 2 things than just giving away 1 thing. And we have first a Justin Tucker signed jersey. This man is helping you with some fantasy points. If you play in a league with kickers, this is why. I actually literally, my last redraft league that I finally left because I'm in far too many dynasty leagues, he's literally the reason we still have kickers in the league, because my friend's wife is a Ravens fan. She's in the league, and he's in the league also, clearly, and loves Justin Tucker. And we used to just have a contest to, like, it was Justin Tucker chicken to see who would draft him first. I have the record so far, drafting him in the 4th round. I made the playoffs that year. So Justin Tucker, signed jersey, and then current wide receiver 1 for the Minnesota Vikings. Sorry, Justin Jefferson. We miss you already. We really, really do. But we're going to celebrate Jordan Addison by giving away this beautiful, awesome mini helmet signed by Jordan Addison. So those are going to be the 2 giveaways for this coming week. Donorbox.org/goodness giveaway. Go over there, donate. Donations give you multiple chances to get either of them. I will go and fix the thing, because I remember you can get the choice if you want to just be in for one of them. If you want to be in for all of them, you'll get a click box if you just want to be in for the helmet, just want to be in for the jersey, or if you want both, because we don't want to give you stuff you don't want. Like, if you hate football except for Justin Tucker, what are you going to do with the Jordan Addison helmet? Like, we don't want you getting things you don't want. But on that rambling note, thank you everybody for hanging around, for stopping by, and hopefully having a little bit of fun, or at least learning something or another. But thanks for coming in, and we'll catch you next week. And I was not ready for this because I know I love playing this video before we head out. So bye, everybody.